Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we have an elementary level lesson for you. This one is especially for people who are interested in babies.
That's right. Maybe you have a baby, you will have a baby, maybe you're pregnant, and this is a great lesson for that because we are talking about a baby shower.
Okay, so before we get started, let's take a look at vocabulary preview and learn what exactly a baby shower is.
Vocabulary preview.
Okay, so a baby shower. You would think that this is about bathing the baby, about giving the baby a bath.
No, not a real shower. A baby shower or a bridal shower, these are parties.
Okay, they're parties. And in this case, a baby shower is a party that you throw for a woman that is pregnant, right?
That's right. So, if my sister is going to have a baby, I throw her a baby shower. It's a party where all of her friends give her gifts.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a way to celebrate having a baby.
Okay. So they give her gifts. You'll play games as well as to like maybe guess the name of the baby or guess the sex of the baby.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. Okay. So it's a very common thing. I think it's mostly for women. I don't really know if men have baby showers as well.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But it's a very popular tradition in the United States and many other parts of the world. So we're going to talk about that. Let's listen to the dialogue for the first time.
Thank you for organising this great baby shower for me. I've always been to baby showers, but never actually had one held for me. Let's get started.
Okay, let's start opening some presents.
Oh, look! What a great little bib for the baby. This will definitely come in handy. Oh, wow. You also got me a stroller. That's so great. Thank you.
This next one is from Betty.
A high chair and a car seat. Wow, Betty, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
One more from Carla.
A playpen and crib? Thanks, Carla. This is just what I needed.
Okay, that's all of them. No more gifts. Now, who wants to guess when the baby is due?
I think my water just broke. Get me to a hospital!
All right, so very interesting, all the gifts that they got, and definitely very useful because this is a very common items that you get for babies, right?
That's right. All of this stuff is really, really valuable because if you have a baby or if your brother or sister has a baby, you'll notice that these are very common items. So let's go through a couple of them in today's language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so the first word that we're going to take a look at, the most common one and useful one for a baby is a bib.
Bib. So babies are messy. When they eat food, they get their food on their clothes. So to protect the clothes, babies wear bibs. This is a piece of cloth or fabric around their neck.
Okay, a bib. And also, sometimes you want to go out with your baby to the mall, you're walking, and you don't want to carry him in your arms all the time. So you need a stroller.
Okay, so basically a stroller is a chair on wheels for a baby. Babies are heavy, and as they get older, they get heavier. And so this is a way to push the baby around, not carry the baby.
Right, and maybe the baby falls asleep, so they can fall asleep in the stroller.
Exactly.
Okay, and talking about chairs, we're going to take a look at two different types of chairs. First one is a high chair.
Okay, a high chair. Think about the word high. That means tall in this case. A high chair is a chair for babies at the table. So if you put a baby on a regular chair, they can't eat with adults.
They're too small.
So we give them high chairs so that they can sit a little bit higher and they can be at the table with adults.
Exactly. So they're very common. For example, you go to a restaurant, they will have a little high chairs if you have a baby or a small child.
So if you're at a restaurant, you have a baby, you ask for a high chair. You say, do you have a high chair, please?
Yeah, perfect. And, well, if you're going to the restaurant or you go anywhere in your car, you need to have the baby be safe. And obviously, they can't fit on a normal, seat, right?
No, with the seat belt, no, I don't think so.
So that's why you get them a car seat.
Okay, a car seat is a special chair that goes on the seat of the car, And usually it's very, very safe. It's made to protect the baby.
Right. So if you are ever in a car accident, the car seat will help protect the small baby.
Right. And car seats are supposed to go in the back of the car, not the front.
Yes, always. Very good. And now moving on to our last two words. If you're at home, you sometimes want to have the baby play, and you get him a playpen.
So basically, this is a way for parents to leave the baby playing but not look at the baby the whole time.
Right.
A playpen is like a cage for a baby,
Yeah.
but it's soft and it's cute and it's pretty. And so it's basically like an open area that's protected on the sides, and the baby can go inside, but the baby can't leave.
Right. It's like a cage,
Yeah.
basically, and it has little toys, and that's the way you just keep them in there for
Exactly.
a while. All right. And now when you want to put the baby to sleep, it can't obviously sleep in a big bed because it might roll over, it might fall off. There's a lot of things that can go wrong, so you get them a crib.
Right, so a crib is a bed for babies. This is usually high off the ground, and it's usually quite small, and the baby can't climb out of it.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's a very safe bed, so the baby can't fall out, can't climb out.
exactly.
Very good. So very interesting, very useful things for you if you're having a baby, planning on getting these things. So why don't we go back, listen to the dialogue again, and we'll be back with Fluency Builder.
Thank you for organising this great baby shower for me. I've always been to baby showers, but never actually had one held for me. Let's get started.
Okay, let's start opening some presents.
Oh, look! What a great little bib for the baby. This will definitely come in handy. Oh, wow, you also got me a stroller. That's so great. Thank you.
This next one is from Betty.
A high chair and a car seat. Wow, Betty, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
One more from Carla.
A playpen and crib. Thanks, Carla. This is just what I needed.
Okay, that's all of them. No more gifts. Now, who wants to guess when the baby is due?
I think my water just broke. Get me to a hospital.
Ah!
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at two key phrases.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so at the beginning of the dialogue, the woman receives a bib for the baby, and she says, "Oh, this will definitely come in handy." To come in handy.
Right. So when something comes in handy, it means it will be useful.
Okay, so something that's handy is useful.
Yeah.
To come in handy means to be useful. It will be useful in the future.
So for example, you should take a flashlight with you in the car just in case, because it could come in handy.
That's right. Or if I know that Marco is traveling to India, I can give him a map of India. I say, Marco, this map might come in handy.
Exactly. Very good. So to come in handy, or in something that is handy, something that's useful. And towards the end, a very popular phrase, you probably heard it in every movie that has like maybe a pregnant woman in there.
Oh, yes.
My water just broke. My water broke.
Okay, so the woman says, my water broke. Take me to the hospital.
Right.
Okay, so this means I'm having my baby right now.
So why do they say that the water broke? Because actually water kind of breaks, right? I think there's a protective water cushion.
Basically, there's a sack of water protecting the baby. It's not just water. It's all sorts of like body fluids. And basically, when that breaks, it comes out and you know that you're going to have the baby. Because that means the baby has to come out now because that protective fluid is gone.
Maybe the baby just kind of kicks that water out and just like, I'm ready to come out.
I have no idea how it
Maybe.
works.
All right, so very interesting stuff. Why don't we listen to the dialogue for the last time?
Thank you for organising this great baby shower for me. I've always been to baby showers, but never actually had one held for me. Let's get started.
Okay, let's start opening some presents.
Oh, look! What a great little bib for the baby. This will definitely come in handy. Oh, wow, you also got me a stroller. That's so great. Thank you.
This next one is from Betty.
A high chair and a car seat. Wow, Betty, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
One more from Carla.
A playpen and crib. Thanks, Carla. This is just what I needed.
Okay, that's all of them. No more gifts. Now, who wants to guess when the baby is due?
I think my water just broke. Get me to a hospital!
All right, so talking about baby things and baby showers, it's a very interesting tradition. I understand that in other countries, they don't really celebrate baby showers like this.
Really?
Yeah, or that if they do it in different ways. I know, for example, that sometimes in Latin American countries, they usually do it after the baby's born.
Oh, so
Yeah.
like a congratulations shower.
Exactly. And then obviously you know if the baby was a boy or a girl, so then you get them like pink things or blue things. So it's a little bit more.
That's what's really funny about these. People often want to have the surprise of not knowing if the baby will be a boy or a girl. So when they have the baby shower, they say, oh, I don't know what the gender is.
Right.
And so you end up buying all of these yellow things because yellow is neutral. It's
Right.
good for boys and girls.
Yeah.
I don't know how many yellow gifts I've gotten.
I think it's a very interesting thing because for example, I know that in China, I think you can't ask the doctor for the gender of the baby before it's born, right?
I think that's a way to. I'm not sure if it's a rule or not, but it sounds right. I mean, it's a way to protect female babies.
I think it would be always great to just have it be a surprise. Yeah,
You never know.
Yeah, just like, whatever
Can-
comes out.
Can you imagine not knowing and then you have twins?
Or that would be great for me, I think, if I had like a boy and a girl, bam, all at once.
All at once, never
And
have to
then-
worry about it again.
Exactly, and then you have best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
All right, so a very interesting topic. Let us know if you have baby showers in your country, or how do you celebrate a baby's birth or before it's born? What
Thank you so much for supporting the Learning English podcast. I've now started a new channel, Talk Point Podcast, where we'll discuss interesting topics. If you like my content, please subscribe and show your support. The link is in the description. Thank you.
Bunch. Bunch. Example. She picked a bunch of flowers from the garden. He carried a bunch of keys on a keychain. Burn. 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 Example. The candle burned brightly on the table. He accidentally burned his hand on the hot stove. Burn down. Burn down. Burn down. Example. The old house burned down in a devastating fire. The forest fire threatened to burn down the nearby village. Burnt. 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 Example. The toast was burnt and inedible. She smelled the burnt popcorn from the microwave. Burst. 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 Example. The balloon burst with a loud bang. He couldn't contain his excitement and burst into laughter. Burst into. Burst into. Burst into. Example. She burst into tears when she heard the sad news. The children burst into the room, full of energy and excitement. Burst out. Burst out. Burst out. Example. He burst out laughing at the funny joke. She couldn't control her anger and burst out yelling. Bury. 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 Example. They buried their beloved pet in the backyard. The treasure was buried deep underground. bus, bus, bus. Example: she took the bus to work every day. They boarded the tourist bus for a guided city tour. Bush, bush, bush. Example: the hiker walked through the dense bush in the forest. She planted a row of bushes to create a natural barrier. Business, business, business. Example: he started his own business and became an entrepreneur. The company is in the business of manufacturing electronics. Businessman, businessman, businessman. Example: the businessman traveled extensively for meetings and negotiations. He was a successful businessman known for his innovative ideas. Busy, busy, busy. Example: she's always busy with work and rarely has free time. The streets were busy with cars and pedestrians. But, but. Example: he wanted to go to the party, but he had to finish his assignment first. She loves chocolate, but she's allergic to it. Butter, butter, butter. Example: he spread butter on his toast for breakfast. The recipe called for a stick of melted butter. Button, button, button. Example: she sewed a button onto her shirt that had fallen off. He pressed the button to turn on the light. Buy, buy, buy. Example: she went to the store to buy groceries. He saved money to buy a new car. Buyer, buyer, buyer. Example: the buyer negotiated the price with the seller. She was a frequent buyer at the local farmer's market. Buy, buy, buy. Example: the painting was created by a famous artist. The package was delivered by the postal service. Buy, buy, buy. Example: goodbye, see you tomorrow, she said as she waved goodbye. He waved bye to his friends before leaving the party. Cabinet, cabinet, cabinet. Example: she stored her dishes in the kitchen cabinet. The documents were kept in a locked cabinet. Cable, cable, cable. Example: he connected the TV to the cable for better reception. She tripped over the cable and accidentally unplugged the computer. Cake. 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 Example. They celebrated the birthday with a delicious chocolate cake. She baked a homemade cake for the special occasion. Calculate. 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 Example. He used a calculator to calculate the sum. She carefully calculated the expenses for the trip. Calculation. 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 Example. The math problem required complex calculations. The calculation of the company's profits was done by the accountant. Call. 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 Example. She picked up the phone and called her friend. He called out for help when he got lost in the woods. Call back. Call back. Call back. Example. He promised to call her back later in the day. She left a voicemail asking him to call her back. Called. 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 Example. The teacher called her name to answer a question. They called the winner of the raffle on stage. Call for. Call for. Call for. Example. The situation calls for immediate action. She called for a change in the company's policies. Call off. Call off. Call off. Example. They had to call off the picnic due to bad weather. The coach called off the training session. Call up. Call up. Call up. Example. He decided to call up his old friend and catch up. She called up the customer service hotline for assistance. Come. 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 Example. She remained calm despite the chaotic situation. He spoke in a calm and reassuring voice. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Example. Take a deep breath and try to calm down. The teacher's presence helped calm down the rowdy students. Calmly. 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 Example. She handled the criticism calmly and professionally. He calmly explained his point of view during the argument. Camera. 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 Example. She took out her camera to capture the beautiful sunset. He adjusted the settings on the camera before taking a photo. Camp. 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 Example. They set up their tents in the campsite near the lake. She attended a summer camp for kids. Campaign. 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 Example. The politician launched a campaign for re-election. The charity organized a fundraising campaign to support their cause. Camping. 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 Example. They enjoyed camping in the wilderness, away from the city. She packed her camping gear for the weekend trip. Can 1. Can 1. Can 1. Example. I can swim across the pool. Can you pass me the salt, please? Can 2. Can 2. Can 2. Example. He opened a can of soda. She emptied the can of soup into a pot. Cancel. 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 Example. They had to cancel their vacation due to unforeseen circumstances. The concert was canceled due to the singer's illness. Cancer. 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 Example. She underwent chemotherapy to treat her breast cancer. The doctor specializes in the treatment of lung cancer. Candidate. 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 Example. The candidate delivered a powerful speech during the campaign rally. She interviewed several candidates for the open position. Candy. 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 Example. He bought a bag of candy for Halloween. She enjoys eating sweet and colorful candies. Cannot. 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 Example. I cannot attend the meeting because of a scheduling conflict. She cannot remember where she put her keys. Cap. 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 Example. He wore a baseball cap to protect himself from the sun. She twisted the cap to open the bottle. Capable. 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 Example. She is a capable leader who can handle challenging situations. He proved himself capable of handling the project independently. Capacity. 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 Example. The stadium has a seating capacity of 50,000. The hotel reached its maximum capacity during the holiday season. Capital. 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 Example. London is the capital of England. The company raised capital to fund its expansion. Captain. 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 Example. He was the captain of the soccer team. The captain announced the departure time over the loudspeaker. Capture. 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 Example. The photographer captured the stunning landscape in her picture. The police captured the fugitive after a long chase. Car. 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 Example. She drove her car to work every day. They rented a car for their road trip. Card. 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 Example. He gave her a birthday card with a heartfelt message. She used her credit card to pay for the purchase. Cardboard. 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 Example. He used cardboard to build a small model house. She recycled the cardboard boxes after moving to a new place. Care. 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 Example. She showed care and compassion towards the elderly. He took care of his younger siblings while their parents were away. Career. 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 Example. She has a successful career in marketing. He decided to pursue a career in medicine. Care for. Care for. Care for. Example. She volunteered at the nursing home, caring for the elderly residents. He hired a pet sitter to care for his dog while he was on vacation. Careful. 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 Example. Be careful not to spill the hot coffee. She is a careful driver and always follows the traffic rules. Carefully. 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 Example. He read the instructions carefully before assembling the furniture. She handled the delicate china dishes carefully. Careless. 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 Example. He made a careless mistake on the exam and lost points. She broke the vase due to her careless handling. Carelessly. 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 Example. He carelessly tossed his clothes on the floor. She carelessly left the door unlocked. Carpet. 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 Example. They installed a soft carpet in their living room. She vacuumed the carpet to remove the dust. Carrot. 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 Example. She added chopped carrots to the soup for extra flavor and nutrients. He grabbed a carrot from the fridge as a healthy snack. Carry. 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 Example. She asked him to carry the heavy boxes up the stairs. He carried his backpack on his shoulder. Carry on. Carry on. Carry on. Example. Despite the difficulties, they decided to carry on with their project. She told him to carry on speaking while she took notes. Carry out. Carry out. Carry out. Example. The researchers carried out a series of experiments to test their hypothesis. They carried out the instructions given by their supervisor. Case. 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 Example. He presented a strong case to support his argument. The detective solved the mysterious case. Cash. 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 Example. She paid for her groceries with cash. He withdrew some cash from the ATM. Cast. 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 Example. The cast of the play rehearsed their lines. She joined the cast of the movie as a supporting actress. Castle. 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 Example. They visited the ancient castle and learned about its history. The princess lived in a beautiful castle. Cat. 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 Example. The cat curled up on the cozy cushion. She played with her pet cat in the backyard. Catch. 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 Example. He tried to catch the ball but missed. She caught the train just in time. Catch up. Catch up. Catch up. Example. Let's meet for coffee and catch up on each other's lives. He worked late to catch up on his assignments. Category. 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 Example. The books are organized into different categories on the library shelves. She won the award in the Best Actress category. Cause. 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 Example. The organization supports a worthy cause. He dedicated his life to fighting for social justice causes. CD. 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 Example. He burned his favorite songs onto a CD. She played a CD of classical music in the background. Cease. 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 Example. The rain ceased and the sun came out. They urged both parties to cease the hostilities. Ceiling. 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 Example. She looked up at the beautiful chandelier hanging from the ceiling. He painted the ceiling white to make the room appear brighter. Celebrate. 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 Example. They gathered to celebrate her graduation from university. We celebrate our anniversary every year with a special dinner. Celebration. 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 Example. The town organized a fireworks display for the New Year's Eve celebration. The birthday party was a joyful celebration with friends and family. Sell. 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 Example. The human body is made up of trillions of cells. He used his cell as a flashlight in the dark. Cell phone. Cell phone. Cell phone. Example. She checked her messages on her cell phone. He forgot his cell phone at home and felt disconnected. Sent. 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 Example. The price of the product was reduced by 50 cents. She saved every cent to afford her dream vacation. Centimeter. 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 Example. The caterpillar measured several centimeters in length. She measured the fabric in centimeters for accurate sewing. Central. 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 Example. The hotel is located in a central area of the city, close to all attractions. The central theme of the book is love and redemption. Center. 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 Example. They met at the shopping center to go shopping together. The town center is always bustling with activity. Century. 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 Example. The historical event took place in the 19th century. She studied the art of the 17th century. Ceremony. 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 Example. The wedding ceremony was held in a beautiful garden. The award ceremony honored the achievements of outstanding individuals. Certain. 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 Example. He seemed certain about his decision and didn't hesitate. She had a certain feeling that something good was about to happen. Certainly. 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 Example. Will you come to the party? Certainly. I wouldn't miss it. He certainly knows how to make people laugh with his jokes. Certificate. 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 Example. She received a certificate of achievement for her outstanding performance. He framed his graduation certificate and hung it on the wall. Chain. 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 Example. The necklace was made of gold chain links. They opened a chain of restaurants across the country. Chair. 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 Example. She sat on the comfortable chair by the fireplace. He pulled out a chair for her at the dining table. Chairman. 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 Example. The chairman called the meeting to order and outlined the agenda. She was elected as the new chairman of the company. Chairwoman. 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 Example. The chairwoman led the discussion on the proposed changes. She became the chairwoman of the organization after years of dedication. Challenge. 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 Example. Climbing Mount Everest was a great challenge for him. She embraced the challenge of learning a new language. Chamber. 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 Example. They entered the dimly lit chamber and discovered ancient artifacts. The trial took place in the courtroom chamber. Chance. 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 Example. He took a chance and applied for the job, even though he wasn't sure he'd get it. She saw a chance to prove herself and seized it. Change. 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 Example. He decided to change his career path and pursue his true passion. She changed her hairstyle and dyed it red. Change round. Change round. Change round. Example. Let's change round the seating arrangement for a fresh perspective. He changed round the order of the slides in his presentation. Channel. 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 Example. She switched the TV channel to watch her favorite show. The river carved a narrow channel through the rocks. Chapter. 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 Example. Each chapter of the book revealed a new twist in the plot. She finished reading the final chapter late at night. Character. 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 Example. He is known for his strong and determined character. She played the role of a complex character in the movie. Characteristic. 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 Example. Honesty is one of his most admirable characteristics. Persistence is a characteristic that often leads to success. Charge. 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 Example. He decided to charge his phone before leaving the house. She charged her clients a reasonable fee for her services. Charity. 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 Example. They donated a large sum of money to charity. She volunteers at a local charity organization. Chart. 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 Example. The doctor showed her the chart of her test results. He used a chart to track the stock market trends. Chase. 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 Example. The dog chased the squirrel up the tree. She chased after her little brother in the park. Chase away. Chase away. Chase away. Example. They used scarecrows to chase away the birds from the crops. The noise from the construction site chased away the peaceful atmosphere. Chat. 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 Example. They sat in the park and chatted for hours. She chatted with her friends online. Cheap. 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 Example. The store had a sale, and she bought some cheap clothes. He found a cheap flight deal for his vacation. Cheaply. 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 Example. They produced the product cheaply to attract more customers. She bought groceries cheaply by using coupons. Cheat. 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 Example. He cheated on the test by copying from his neighbor. She felt guilty for cheating in the game. Cheat of. Cheat of. Cheat of. Example. He felt cheated of his victory when the referee made a wrong decision. She was cheated of her money by a fraudulent investment scheme. Check. 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 Example. He checked his email for any important messages. She checked the weather forecast before going out. Check in. Check in. Check in. Example. They arrived at the hotel and checked in at the reception. She checked in for her flight online. Check into. Check into. Check into. Example. He decided to check into a hotel for the night. She checked into a rehab facility to seek help. Check on. Check on. Check on. Example. He went to check on his sleeping children. She called to check on her sick friend. Check out. Check out. Check out. Example. They checked out of the hotel and left for the airport. She checked out a book from the library. Check over. Check over. Check over. Example. He checked over his essay for any grammar mistakes. She checked over the financial reports before submitting them. Check up on. Check up on. Check up on. Example. The doctor checked up on his patient to monitor the progress. She checked up on her elderly neighbor to see if she needed anything. Chic. 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 Example. She gave him a kiss on the cheek as a greeting. He felt a warm tear rolling down his cheek. Cheerful. 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 Example. She has a cheerful personality and always brings positivity to the room. He greeted everyone with a cheerful smile. Cheerfully. 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 Example. She waved goodbye cheerfully as she left for work. He whistled cheerfully while walking down the street. Cheese. 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 Example. They had a cheese tasting party with a variety of cheeses. She made a delicious macaroni and cheese dish for dinner. Chemical. 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 Example. The laboratory is equipped with various chemical substances for experiments. She wore protective gloves while handling the chemical solution. Chemist. 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 Example. He visited the local chemist to pick up his prescription. She consulted a chemist for advice on skincare products. Chemistry. 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 Example. The chemistry between them was undeniable. He studied chemistry in college and became a chemist. Check. 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 Example. He wrote a check to pay for the new furniture. She received a check as a refund for her canceled flight. Chest. 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 Example. She placed the gift on the chest at the foot of the bed. He felt a tightness in his chest as he ran up the stairs. Chew. 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 Example. He chewed the gum slowly to savor the flavor. She chewed on her pencil while thinking. Chicken. 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 Example. They cooked a delicious roast chicken for dinner. She ordered a chicken salad at the restaurant. Sheaf. 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 Example. The chief of police held a press conference to address the issue. She was promoted to the chief executive officer of the company. Child. 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 Example. The children played happily in the park. She adopted a child from a local orphanage. Chin. 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 Example. He rested his chin on his hand while thinking. She pointed her chin defiantly during the argument. Chip. 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 Example. He ate a handful of potato chips while watching TV. She installed a new chip in her computer for faster processing. Chocolate. 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 Example. She couldn't resist the temptation of a piece of chocolate cake. He bought a box of chocolates as a gift for his girlfriend. Choice. 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 Example. She had to make a difficult choice between two job offers. They presented him with several choices for dinner. Choose. 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 Example. They had to choose a paint color for their living room. She chose to study abroad for a semester. Chop. 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 Example. He chopped the vegetables for the stir-fry. She chopped off her long hair for a new look. Chop down. Chop down. Chop down. Example. They decided to chop down the old tree because it was diseased. He chopped down the weeds in the garden. Chop off. Chop off. Chop off. Example. She accidentally chopped off a small piece of her finger while cooking. He decided to chop off his long beard for a fresh start. Church. 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 Example. They attended Sunday service at the local church. She lit a candle in the church and said a prayer. Cigarette. 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 Example. He smoked a cigarette outside the building. She decided to quit smoking and threw away her last cigarette. Cinema. 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 Example. They went to the cinema to watch the latest blockbuster movie. She bought popcorn and soda at the cinema concession stand. Circle. 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 Example. The children sat in a circle and played a game. He drew a perfect circle on the paper. Circumstance. 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 Example. She found herself in difficult circumstances and had to make tough decisions. They adapted to the circumstances and found a way to succeed. Citizen. 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 Example. He became a naturalized citizen of the country after living there for many years. She participated in a peaceful protest as a concerned citizen. City. 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 Example. They explored the bustling streets of the city. She moved to the city to pursue her career. Civil. 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 Example. They engaged in a civil conversation to resolve their differences. The civil rights movement fought for equality and justice. Claim. 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 Example. He claimed to have seen a UFO in the sky. She claimed the title of champion after winning the tournament. Clap. 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 Example. The audience clapped enthusiastically at the end of the performance. She clapped her hands in delight when she received good news. Class. 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 Example. He attended a yoga class to improve his flexibility. She taught a class of energetic first graders. Classic. 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 Example. The novel has become a classic piece of literature. She wore a classic black dress to the formal event. Classroom. 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 Example. They entered the classroom and took their seats. She decorated the classroom with colorful posters. Clean. 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 Example. She put on a clean shirt before going out. He washed the dishes until they were sparkling clean. Clean up. Clean up. Clean up. Example. They had to clean up the messy room before guests arrived. She cleaned up the spilled milk from the floor. Clear. 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 Example. The sky was clear, and the stars were visible. She gave a clear explanation of the process. Clearly. 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 Example. He spoke clearly so that everyone could understand him. She wrote her name clearly on the form. Clear out. Clear out. Clear out. Example. They decided to clear up the old furniture from the basement. She cleared out her closet and donated clothes she no longer wore. Clear up. Clear up. Clear up. Example. The doctor prescribed medication to clear up the infection. The rain cleared up, and they were able to continue their outdoor activity. Clerk. 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 Example. He asked the clerk for assistance in finding a specific item. She worked as a clerk in a busy office. Clever. 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 Example. She came up with a clever solution to the problem. He is known for his clever sense of humor. Click. 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 Example. She clicked on the link to open the web page. He clicked his tongue in disapproval. Client. 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 Example. She met with a new client to discuss their project. He has many loyal clients who trust his services. Climate. 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 Example. The climate in that region is tropical, with high humidity. She prefers a cooler climate with mild temperatures. Climb. 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 Example. They decided to climb the mountain and enjoy the view from the top. She climbed the ladder to reach the book on the highest shelf. Climbing. 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 Example. He enjoys rock climbing as a challenging outdoor activity. She took up climbing as a hobby and joined a climbing club. Clock. 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 Example. The clock on the wall showed that it was already late. She glanced at her wristwatch to check the time. Close. 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 Example. The store is closed on Sundays. She has a close relationship with her siblings. Close. 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 Example. Please close the door when you leave the room. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Closed. 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 Example. The gate was closed, so they couldn't enter the park. She found a sign that said closed for renovation on the store door. Closely. 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 Example. He observed the situation closely to gather all the details. She followed the instructions closely to complete the task. Closet. 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 Example. She hung her clothes in the closet. He stored his belongings in the closet. Cloth. 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 Example. She used a soft cloth to clean the glass. He bought a piece of cloth to sew a new dress. Clothes. 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 Example. She folded her clothes and placed them in the drawer. He donated his old clothes to a local charity. Clothing. 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 Example. They sell a wide range of clothing for men, women, and children. She enjoys shopping for new clothing items. Cloud. 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 Example. The sky was filled with dark clouds before the storm. She lay on the grass, looking at the shapes of clouds. Club. 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 Example. He joined a book club to meet fellow literature enthusiasts. She danced the night away at the local nightclub. Coach. 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 Example. He hired a personal coach to help him improve his fitness. She became a coach for the school's basketball team. Coal. 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 Example. The miners extracted coal from the underground mine. She added coal to the fireplace to keep the room warm. Coast. 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 Example. They went on a road trip along the scenic coast. She enjoyed walking along the sandy coast, listening to the waves. Coat. 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 Example. He wore a warm coat to protect himself from the cold. She hung her coat on the rack by the entrance. Code. 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 Example. He wrote a complex code to solve the programming problem. She scanned the QR code with her phone to access the information. Coffee. 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 Example. He brewed a fresh cup of coffee in the morning. She ordered a caramel latte from the coffee shop. Coin. 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 Example. He dropped a coin into the vending machine to get a snack. She collected rare coins as a hobby. Cold. 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 Example. She wrapped herself in a warm blanket to ward off the cold. He caught a cold and had to stay home from work. Coldly. 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 Example. He looked at her coldly, not showing any emotion. She responded coldly to his apology. Collapse. 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 Example. The old building collapsed after the earthquake. She collapsed on the couch, exhausted from the long day. Colleague. 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 Example. He discussed the project with his colleagues during the meeting. She collaborated with her colleagues to complete the research. Collect. 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 Example. He collects stamps as a hobby. She collected donations for a local charity. Collection. 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 Example. He has an impressive collection of antique cars. She donated her book collection to the library. College. 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 Example. He attended college to pursue a degree in computer science. She graduated from college with honors. Color. 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 Example. The artist used vibrant colors in her painting. He preferred the color blue over other colors. Colored. 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 Example. She picked a colored pencil from the box to sketch a drawing. He painted the walls with different colored stripes. Column. 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 Example. He wrote a weekly column for the newspaper. She read the horoscope column to see what the stars had in store for her. Combination. 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 Example. The dish was a combination of flavors from different cuisines. She used a combination of keys to unlock the door. Combine. 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 Example. They decided to combine their efforts to tackle the project. She combined the ingredients to make a delicious soup. Come. 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 Example. He asked her to come to the party with him. She promised to come to the meeting on time. Come across. Come across. Come across. Example. He came across an old photo while cleaning the attic. She came across a great book recommendation on the internet. Come down. Come down. Come down. Example. The prices of houses in the area came down significantly. She felt dizzy and had to come down from the ladder. Comedy. 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 Example. They watched a comedy movie and laughed throughout. She enjoys watching stand-up comedy shows. Come from. Come from. Come from. Example. He comes from a small town in the countryside. She comes from a family of doctors. Come in. Come in. Come in. Example. Please come in and have a seat. She knocked on the door and waited for someone to come in. Come off. Come off. Come off. Example. The button came off her shirt, so she had to sew it back on. The play came off as a great success to the audience. Come on. Come on. Come on. Example. Come on, let's go for a walk in the park. She urged him to come on stage and perform. Come out. Come out. Come out. Example. The sun came out after days of rain. The new book by her favorite author came out last week. Come round. Come round. Come round. Example. They invited their friends to come round for dinner. She fainted but quickly came round and regained consciousness. Come to. Come to. Come to. Example. He came to a sudden realization about his true passion. She calculated the expenses and found that they came to a large sum. Come up. Come up. Come up. Example. An unexpected opportunity came up, and he decided to seize it. She didn't have an answer right away, but promised to come up with one. Come up to. Come up to. Come up to. Example. He came up to her and introduced himself at the party. She came up to the podium to accept her award. Comfort. 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 Example. He offered her words of comfort during a difficult time. She found comfort in the warm embrace of her loved ones. Comfortable. 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 Example. The couch was comfortable to sit on. She felt comfortable in her favorite pair of shoes. Comfortably. 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 Example. He settled into the chair comfortably and started reading. She slept comfortably on the soft mattress. Command. 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 Example. He gave a command, and his dog obediently followed. She typed a command into the computer to execute a program. Comment. 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 Example. He left a comment on her blog post expressing his thoughts. She appreciated the positive comments she received on her artwork. Commercial. 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 Example. The company created a catchy commercial to promote their product. She appeared in a commercial for a popular brand. Commission. 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 Example. He received a commission for painting a mural on the building. She worked on a commission basis as a salesperson. Commit. 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 Example. He decided to commit himself to a healthier lifestyle. She committed to finishing the project before the deadline. Commitment. 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 Example. He showed great commitment to his job, always going the extra mile. She made a commitment to volunteer at the local shelter. Committee. 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 Example. They formed a committee to organize the charity event. She served on the committee responsible for planning the conference. Common. 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 Example. It's common for people to experience stress during exams. She shares a common interest in photography with her friend. Commonly. 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 Example. People commonly use smartphones for communication nowadays. She commonly visits the local library to borrow books. Communicate. 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 Example. They used sign language to communicate with each other. She communicated her ideas through a well-written email. Communication. 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 Example. Effective communication is essential for building strong relationships. She studied communication theory in her college course. Community. 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 Example. They actively participated in community events and volunteer work. She felt a sense of belonging to her local community. Company. 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 Example. He works for a software company as a programmer. She started her own company after years of planning. Compare. 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 Example. He likes to compare prices before making a purchase. She compared different options to choose the best one. Comparison. 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 Example. He made a detailed comparison of the two products' features. She drew a comparison between the two novels' writing styles. Compete. 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 Example. He trained hard to compete in the upcoming marathon. She competed against skilled opponents in the chess tournament. Competition. 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 Example. They entered the cooking competition and showcased their culinary skills. She won first place in the singing competition. Competitive. 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 Example. He has a competitive nature and always strives to be the best. She enjoys playing competitive sports like tennis and soccer. Complain. 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 Example. He complained about the slow service at the restaurant. She complained to the landlord about the noisy neighbors. Complaint. 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 Example. He filed a complaint with the customer service department. She listened to the customer's complaint and offered a solution. Complete. 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 Example. He completed the project ahead of schedule. She completed her homework before going to bed. Completely. 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 Example. The room was completely empty after they moved out. She completely forgot about the meeting and missed it. Complex. 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 Example. The math problem was too complex for him to solve. She wrote a complex algorithm to solve the puzzle. Complicate. 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 Example. He tends to complicate matters by overthinking. She didn't want to complicate their friendship by confessing her feelings. Complicated. 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 Example. Their relationship became complicated after the argument. She had a complicated schedule with overlapping commitments. Computer. 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 Example. He used a computer to write his research paper. She bought a new computer for her graphic design work. Concentrate. 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 Example. He found it hard to concentrate with all the noise in the room. She closed her eyes to concentrate on her meditation. Concentrate on. Concentrate on. Concentrate on. Example. He needed to concentrate on his studies for the upcoming exam. She advised him to concentrate on his strengths and work on them. Concentration. 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 Example. He had excellent concentration during intense focus sessions. She lacked concentration due to distractions in the environment. Concept. 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 Example. He explained the concept of gravity to the students. She came up with a unique concept for her art installation. Concern. 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 Example. He expressed concern about the environmental impact of the project. She had a genuine concern for the well-being of her family. Concerned. 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 Example. They were concerned about her health and well-being. She was concerned about the increasing crime rate in her neighborhood. Concerning. 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 Example. They had a meeting concerning the upcoming event. She wrote an email concerning the change in schedule. Concert. 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 Example. He bought tickets to the upcoming concert of his favorite band. She performed a piano solo at the school concert. Conclude. 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 Example. They concluded the meeting with a summary of the main points. She concluded her speech by thanking everyone for their support. Conclusion. 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 Example. He drew a logical conclusion based on the available evidence. She reached the conclusion that it was time to move on. Concrete. 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 Example. They poured concrete to create a sturdy foundation for the building. She had a concrete plan for her business expansion. Condition. 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 Example. He checked the condition of the car before buying it. She kept her books in good condition by handling them carefully. Conduct. 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 Example. He conducted an experiment to test his hypothesis. She conducted a survey to gather feedback from the participants. Conference. 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 Example. He attended an international conference on climate change. She presented her research at a scientific conference. Confidence. 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 Example. He had confidence in his abilities and believed in himself. She gained confidence through practice and hard work. Confident. 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 Example. He felt confident about the outcome of the negotiation. She approached the interview with a confident attitude. Confidently. 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 Example. He spoke confidently in front of the large audience. She walked confidently into the room, ready to take on the challenge. Confine. 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 Example. They confined the dog to the backyard using a fence. She felt confined in the small room with no windows. Confined. 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 Example. He was confined to bed rest after the surgery. She felt confined by the strict rules of the institution. Confirm. 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 Example. He called to confirm his appointment with the doctor. She received an email to confirm her flight reservation. Conflict. 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 Example. They had a conflict of interest regarding the project. She tried to resolve the conflict between her friends. Confront. 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 Example. He decided to confront his colleague about the issue. She confronted her fears and stepped out of her comfort zone. Confuse. 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 Example. The instructions were unclear and confused him. She tried to explain the concept again, hoping not to confuse her students. Confused. 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 Example. He felt confused about which direction to take. She looked at the map with a confused expression on her face. Confusing. 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 Example. The professor's explanation was confusing and hard to follow. She found the user interface of the new software confusing. Confusion. 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 Example. There was confusion among the audience about the event's schedule. She experienced confusion when faced with conflicting information. Congratulate. 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 Example. He congratulated her on winning the award. She called to congratulate her friend on the promotion. Congratulation. 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 Example. He received many congratulations for his achievements. She sent a heartfelt congratulation to the newlyweds. Congress. 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 Example. He attended a congress on environmental sustainability. She participated in the annual Congress of Scientists. Connect. 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 Example. He used a cable to connect the computer to the monitor. She connected with old friends through social media. Connected. 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 Example. He felt connected to nature while hiking in the mountains. She had a strong network of connected professionals in her field. Connection. 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 Example. He established a strong connection with his new colleague. She lost her internet connection during the storm. Conscious. 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 Example. He made a conscious effort to improve his eating habits. She was conscious of the impact her words could have on others. Consequence. 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 Example. He understood the consequences of his actions. She faced the consequences of her decision. Conservative. 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 Example. He holds conservative views on political and social issues. She dressed in a conservative manner for the formal event. Consider. 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 Example. He asked her to consider his proposal before making a decision. She considered different options before choosing a career path. Considerable. 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 Example. He had considerable experience in the field of finance. She made a considerable effort to meet the deadline. Considerably. 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 Example. The price of the product was reduced considerably. She felt considerably better after taking the medicine. Consideration. 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 Example. He took her feelings into consideration before making a comment. She appreciated the consideration shown by her colleagues. Consist. 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 Example. The team consists of experienced professionals. Her daily routine consists of exercise, work, and family time. Consist of. Consist of. Consist of. Example. The salad consists of lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumbers. The committee consists of representatives from different departments. Constant. 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 Example. He faced constant challenges in his job. She provided constant support to her friends. Constantly. 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 Example. He was constantly checking his phone for updates. She was constantly busy with her work and personal commitments. Construct. 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 Example. He helped construct the new building. She used Lego blocks to construct a model of a house. Construction. 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 Example. He worked in construction, building houses. She observed the construction of a bridge with interest. Consult. 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 Example. He consulted a lawyer for legal advice. She consulted her doctor about her health concerns. Consumer. 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 Example. He is a smart consumer who compares prices before making a purchase. She studied consumer behavior for her marketing research. Contact. 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 Example. He lost his phone contacts when he dropped his phone in water. She added her new colleague's email to her contact list. Contain. 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 Example. The box contained a variety of toys. The report contains detailed information about the project. Container. 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 Example. He stored the leftovers in a plastic container. She packed her belongings in a moving container. Contemporary. 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 Example. He enjoys reading contemporary novels. She visited a contemporary art exhibition. Content. 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 Example. He published new content on his blog regularly. She created engaging content for her social media followers. Contest. 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 Example. He participated in a photography contest and won first place. She entered a singing contest and impressed the judges. Context. 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 Example. He didn't understand the joke because he was unaware of the context. She provided the historical context for the events described in the book. Continent. Continent.